Hi Taurus, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your September 2021 Bridging the Gap love reading. Thanks to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Bridging the Gap spread, and the way it works is we'll look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. When we get to roll those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the Bridging the Gap dynamic comes into play. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot Sexual Magic. And also keep in mind that while I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right is the other person's, if you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have Temptation. So this is actually the equivalent of the Devil card in traditional tarot, which is Capricorn energy. So I can see this playing out a couple of different ways. With the artwork, we see it looks like they're being led away from the cards on this side. So it could just be saying that someone from your past might have come back around and actually, engaged your interest within a connection that might have pulled you away from this connection. But for a lot of you, I actually feel like this could be saying that you might have actually had to move away from this person for a career opportunity. And the reason I'm kind of getting that vibe is because Capricorn energy is your 9th house, which represents long distance travel. And then, of course, Capricorn is also related to career. So that's how I feel like it is for some of you, just saying that you might have had to move away because you got an amazing career opportunity, perhaps, that you couldn't really pass up. And could just be saying that might have happened around the time when Saturn first moved into Aquarius, which is your 10th house of career and social status. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the King of Chalices. So this is Scorpio energy here, which is actually your opposite sign. So it could just be saying that there was a lot of potential there for this connection. But with the King of Chalices, the way I see that, especially for those of you if you did move away for a career opportunity, I feel like what might have happened is they might have really been closed off toward you. I feel like they might have just made it seem like they didn't care if you left, like, oh, all right, that's great. But I feel like deep down beneath that, they were actually kind of hurt by it. So it could have just been that lack of communication there, where they didn't want to be open and vulnerable to express to you that, hey, I really would prefer you didn't move, right? Or just at least express that it was going to hurt their feelings. So I feel like that could have been what was at play there. And if not that, if this isn't around you guys physically moving, it could just be saying that in general they might have had a bit of an attitude where they might have been closed off emotionally, and you might not have known how to read that energy, so that could have been what left the connection vulnerable for outside interference, because if you're like, well, I don't really know how this person feels, right? You don't necessarily want to wait around forever to find out how they're feeling if they're not going to come out and express it. All right, present energy on your side, we have the Seven of Cups, so more Scorpio energy here. And now, yeah, for a lot of you, I'm getting that same vibe with the distance thing, right? Because we see she's staring off in the distance, and we see it looks like there's a figure next to her, but it looks like they're not physically in the room, right? It looks very dreamlike almost, So I feel like this is saying might have taken a career opportunity. Maybe you're not necessarily all too happy with it, but so I feel like you are thinking about this person, but at the same time, I feel like there is still the physical distance between the two of you. For others of you, this could just be saying that you might have a little bit of confusion around which way you want to go around relationships too. So that could be part of it, to where you're just a bit too distracted right now to really give your all to the connection. All right, and present energy on their side, we have the Ten of Chalices. So this is actually the Ten of Cups, Pisces energy, and I feel like this is saying that they may actually extend an offer to you, but for a lot of you, just given what we see in the artwork, even though here it's the feminine that's extending something and it looks like the masculine isn't paying attention, given what we saw on your side, I feel like this is saying that a lot of them might be trying to extend an offer to you, but it seems like you could just really be distracted at this time. This year there was already a first full moon in Aquarius, which is your house of career and social status. There's going to be a second one coming up in a couple of days. So just a lot of energy going on in your 10th house, Saturn being there as well, Jupiter back in there. So could just be saying you just might have a lot going on the career front that you can't really dedicate much to the connection. Or if nothing else, again, I feel like this is them just having those feelings deep down, but struggling to really express them at the right time. All right. future energy on your side, we got two cards. We have the Prince of Staves, which is Sagittarius energy, and the Nine of Cups, which is Pisces energy. So, for you guys, Sagittarius energy is around investments, death, rebirth, intimacy, but again, I'm getting that vibe of travel here. Like I said, it does definitely seem like there's physical distance between the two of you, possibly emotional as well, but I feel like physical distance is coming out to me more strongly here. So naturally, that wouldn't be the case for all of you, but I feel like for a good majority of you, it might be. And seeing that with the Nine of Cups, this could just be saying that you might be trying to manifest a way to come back around toward this person. And for others of you, it could just be given that his back is turned again, similar to what we saw in a past position. For others of you, you might just decide to actually leave the connection behind and try to manifest a new connection into your lives. So it really could go either way there. Given what I see at the bottom of the deck on your side, though, it looks like there is a desire for commitment. So it really could be 50-50, but like I said, whether it's toward this person or a new connection. And future energy on their side, we have the Five of Wands, Leo energy, and the Hermit, Virgo energy. So what stands out to me here is we see two male figures, and then we see people in the background, right? Looks like two couples in the background in both. So really what I'm seeing this is coming across as, we see he's reaching for that sword there, which represents communication, right? The Hermit's a very withdrawn energy. It's almost like he's reflecting on what's going on around him. So really the way that I'm seeing this is I feel like a lot of them are going to assume that you guys have another connection going on. You know, that's going to be the conclusion they come to in their mind. Like, okay, Taurus isn't giving me any energy whatsoever. So they must be dealing with someone else, right? Which for some of you that can be the case, which I did mention I saw. You know, for some of you it's going to be a new connection you're going toward. For others of you it's going to be trying to figure out a way to get back closer to this person. But I feel like the main issue there, and quite frankly possibly the issue all along the spread for the person on the right, is that it looks like there's a issue with communicating these things, right? So I don't see them actually coming out and communicating there. With the Hermit energy, I feel like that's a very internalized energy where they're just going to pine over it in their mind over and over again, like, okay, you know, I feel like Taurus has someone else, but them actually coming out to mention it to you, I don't necessarily see that happening. So, interesting energy on their side. All right, and bottom of the deck, all on your side, we have the Four of Staves. So, this is Aries energy here, which for you guys is your 12th house, but of course this definitely has that energy of like a committed relationship, a wedding ceremony, it almost looks like. So for a lot of you, I feel like that is something you do see for yourselves in the future, right? Especially that the Prince of Staves is looking right toward that. But again, it could just be a timing thing where for some of you, you just might feel like this person's too closed off for you to really get a read on, okay, are they into me or not? And you might just think, well, maybe I'll just pursue something else. For others of you, like I said, you might actually try to make an attempt to get closer to them. But, I mean, I will say, like I said, it seems like this person isn't very open, which is interesting, because I remember last month, the reading was that they're slowly opening up. Here it looks like that could even be what that energy is in the present. But for some reason, it doesn't look like it's going to go over too well, because it looks like you might be too distracted to even see it if they do try to express themselves. So, tricky energy there. Bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Six of Swords. So this is Aquarius energy. Now, one way I can see this playing out for some of you could even just be saying that the two of you might work together, and that could be why you've been holding back from the connection, because you're like, okay, this might be too risky to pursue being with this person in the workplace because it could derail my career, right? So that I do have to say that's something that comes to mind seeing this card now. But this is Aquarius energy here. Usually does represent moving on to calmer waters, but again, I feel like this is, for some of you, another indicator that they might just struggle with communicating. Now, if that's the case, the good thing with that is seeing the Queen of Wands energy here, because this could just be saying this is a Aries energy. So it could just be saying by the time we have the Aries full moon, which would actually be in October, then they might actually come forward and finally communicate to you in a much more open, direct way. So For those of you who are actually still hoping to get something off the ground with this person, it might just take until that time. And of course, around that time, there's going to be Mercury retrograde going on in Libra as well. So there's going to be a whole lot going on around that time. But I do see it as potentially a time when they actually come forward and be more direct with how they're feeling. So hoping it resonated with you guys. And next, we'll see if we get anything from Aqua Moonlight deck here. And I'm just going to shuffle this for a bit, see if we get any jumpers. First, I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, we'll just move on to the next deck. But occasionally we get extra messages there, which can be helpful. So we'll see if we get anything. Okay, that one doesn't want to go back in. And next we'll see if we get any from them to you. All right, and this one doesn't want to go back in there. So let's see what we got. All right, on your side, we have confusion. I don't know. Which is interesting because when I put it down, it landed on the Seven of Cups, which definitely looks like the confusion. And like I said, to be fair, I do see the confusion on your side, but it definitely looks like they're a big part of that because, like I said, it looks like they were closed off and might have tried to play it off nonchalant if you did move away, or if there was another person that entered into the environment. So I do see that they definitely played a role with it, but yeah, it looks like really you guys, at least at the present moment, aren't sure yourselves what you want to do with the connection. So that does make sense with what we saw. And on their side, we have gesture that says, I'm going to come sweep you away. So, interesting. There's two places where I could see that potentially being the case. One is the 10 of chalices in the present. Like I said, just the artwork there, especially with the backs turned to the cards on the side and your energy looking confused. I feel like if they do make the attempt in the present, it might be missed by you some way. But if that's the case, like I said, I did see that Queen of Wands energy there, so definitely keep an eye out for that full moon in Aries in October. So that's just if you don't actually hear something from them in September, but it definitely looks like they have the intention for sure to come forward toward you and be more open and expressive. So hopefully that resonated with you. All right, and lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. Same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this one too, but we're just looking for one card here with general advice, and we'll wrap up. All right, so nothing's coming up. So what I'll do is I'll just put the deck down and give me a few seconds to tune in, and we'll just pull a card. All right. All right, we'll go right here. Okay, we have By the Book. There's the artwork, and the number is 11. So we'll see what it says. Okay, it says abiding by social rules, conformity, respecting cultural or family customs, universal laws. The universe works within a structure of divine laws and principles that provides a framework for human experience and evolution. The law of abundance, the law of prayer, the law of karma, the law of attraction, the law of thought, the law of compensation, and the law of nature are only a few that are known. These principles create perfect order and operate with a kind of precision beyond human understanding. Even revolution has its place in universal law. Human beings, in turn, have their own laws and customs that vary from culture to culture and family to family. Laws keep social order and govern behavior, reflecting an instinctive understanding that harmony is important. This is a time to learn these laws and conform to them, rather than being the rebel and flouting them. When discard appears, submit to structure and follow the rules, even if they seem to make no sense. Release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony. Open your eyes to those universal laws, and it will be easier to go by the book at this time. All right, so hopefully that message resonated with you guys. And then the relationship message says, getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Find a middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want to do them. Your connection will deepen as a result. So I will say, if anything, it doesn't like you guys will be putting on any pressure toward them at all. So if anything, the main message I get from that is to just, talking about where it says respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Like I said, with this person, it definitely looks like they have a bit of an issue with expressing themselves. But like I said, it looks like eventually they will get to that point where they do open up. So this might require a little bit of patience from you guys. So hope that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.